A homeless man's life changes when he discovers an empty apartment. On a February night, a few homeless people are trying to get some rest when some thugs come and start beating them. They steal all their money and goods. Isabella and Joey are hiding under cardboard from where they come out and quietly surrender without putting up any fight. However, one of the thugs starts harassing Isabella, which enrages Joey. A fight breaks out, and Joey asks Isabella to run, taking the beating on her behalf instead. The thugs beat Joey terribly until he sees an opening and runs away. The thugs follow him, but Joey keeps running until he sneaks into an expensive-looking apartment, successfully escaping the thugs. Joey finds the apartment empty and decides to take refuge there. He takes a shower and shaves his head, cleaning himself up nicely. He wears decent, expensive clothes found in the apartment. As he looks around the house, he discovers through the voicemail that the apartment owner, Damon, is in New York and won't be back until October. Meanwhile, one of the thugs finds Isabelle and points a knife at her, taking her somewhere. Joey makes himself at home and goes through Damon's mails. He finds a bank mail envelope with a newly issued debit card. Joey uses the card and sets a new pin to it, finding a decent amount of money for himself. He then gets drunk and walks in the streets of London in his new outfit and new life. While he thrills at night, he recalls his past memories of being a soldier in Afghanistan. Joey is an ex-militant who has been through several wars. Joey walks into a homeless shelter where a church nun named Christina serves warm soup to the po. Joey interrogates Isabelle when Christina recognizes him. She is surprised to see him in new clothes but worries that he robbed someone to acquire them. Joey replies that he got a bit of good luck from God and gives £500 to her. Christina is shocked to see that much money but accepts it in the name of God. The next day, Christina discusses the incident with her head nun and gives her the money to allocate to one of their charity funds. Christina then requests the nun if she can keep a portion to herself since Joey asked her to buy something for herself with the money. The head nun agrees, and Christina takes the money. Christina goes to a ballet theater to book a ticket for the show, but the ticket salesman tells her that all the tickets have been sold. He then adds that one box ticket for the farewell show is available on the 1st, which costs £500. Joey wakes up from a scary dream and realizes he's seeing things that aren't there. He sees hummingbirds flying around and a man hanging from the ceiling in his apartment. He goes to a place where food is distributed to people in need and asks Christina for medicine to fight infection, but she tells him to go to the hospital. He explains that he can't because he's been avoiding a military trial since he left the special forces, and they won't forgive him. Christina feels sorry for him and asks what he needs. He says he has 2 broken ribs and an infection that could be deadly if it spreads to his bones. She gets him medicine to fight the infection and painkillers and tells him she's asked around about Isabelle. He asks how she knows about Isabelle and if he did something foolish the previous night. Christina realizes he can't remember, but she doesn't mention the £500 and tells him Isabelle doesn't come to get food anymore. Back at Joey's place, he pours his alcohol down the sink and takes his medicine regularly. He finds the keys to Damon's fancy black car and drives around the city, putting up posters with Damon's phone number so Isabelle can contact him. Joey receives a voicemail from Isabelle telling him not to search for her and not to worry. She explains that she has agreed to work for some dangerous people for a few weeks until she saves enough money for a deposit on a new place up north. A well-dressed man with a scar above his eye meets up with the thug who threatened Isabelle with a knife. They enter a store that delivers packages late at night, and the man looks at 3 blonde women inside. One of them turns out to be Isabelle. It is revealed that she works as a prostitute in an illegal brothel. On a sunny March afternoon, Joey returns to the apartment with groceries. While he is preparing a healthy drink for himself, someone buzzes at the door. When Joey doesn't respond, a woman's voice expresses that she saw someone enter the apartment and threatens to call the police. Joey opens the door and tells her he is one of Damon's partners. He claims that Damon asked him to stay there for the summer and get his life back on track. Later, Joey starts working in a Chinese restaurant and discards Damon's debit card. He exercises on the rooftop and sometimes acts as an unpaid bouncer when there's trouble at the restaurant. One night, the head waiter asks him to handle a group of rowdy guys. When Joey escorts them outside, they get angry, and one of them tries to punch him. The restaurant owner watches Joey handle the situation effortlessly and asks the head waiter who he is. Mr. Choi, the restaurant owner, hires Joey as his driver, who soon starts doing shady tasks for him. Joey earns a lot of money helping Mr. Choi establish new rules in the neighborhood, delivering drugs and collecting payments. One night, a delivery person arrives at the soup kitchen with pizzas. Christina realizes it's not a mistake when the delivery person says that Joey Jones paid for the order. From that point on, Joey regularly orders food for the homeless. In July, Joey encounters Dawn, his ex-wife, at a grocery store and catches her attention. She gets angry seeing him dressed in expensive clothes while she and their daughter struggle to live on a small amount of money each week. She tells him she lost her job and asks what he's been up to. Joey tells her he's been fighting. She starts throwing things at him, but he stops her and gives her a large amount of money, assuring her that there's plenty more where that came from. Later on, Christina discovers boxes and a dress left outside the convent, along with a note inviting her to meet someone. She goes to meet Joey, who is cooking food on the street behind the Chinese restaurant. She finds it odd and asks him if he has psychological issues, which he doesn't deny. Christina then shares some news with him and shows him a photo of a girl found in the river. The police asked her to help identify the girl. Reluctantly, Joey looks at the photo and immediately recognizes Isabelle. Feeling upset, Joey burns the picture and sits down to eat his steak. He asks Christina if one of those wealthy men killed Isabelle, and she confirms that the police believe a client killed her. Joey gets angry and flips a table in frustration, which troubles Christina. She calls him a hypocrite because Isabelle had drugs in her system, and he is involved with drugs. After Joey calms down, Christina confesses that she spent the money he gave her. She sold some of her belongings and returned the money to him. Later, some troublemakers bother the homeless people in an alley, and Joey is waiting for them. He confronts them and asks if they remember him. One of them brandishes a knife, but Joey surprises them by pulling out a spoon. Joey questions them about who killed Isabelle. They provide a description of a man in his 30s with a scar above his eye. Christina meets Joey at a photo exhibit, wearing the dress he bought for her. Joey is surprised when he sees her, and she notices his reaction. She explains that she's wearing the dress because it's the only one she has. Christina feels nervous and drinks champagne, but she hasn't eaten and worries she might faint. She tells Joey that she's there to gather information about Isabelle's case, and he gives her a description of the person who killed her. Their conversation is interrupted by a gallery agent who questions their presence, so they quickly leave the gallery and run down the street. Christina is slightly drunk and flirtatious with Joey. She asks him when Damon is coming back, and he answers that it's October 1st, the same day as the ballet concert. She sees it as destiny, and they share a kiss before she departs. The next morning, Damon is getting ready for work when his neighbor approaches him in the parking lot. She notices a change in his behavior and asks if he's exclusively attracted to men. Damon responds by saying that lately, he finds nuns attractive, which confuses and amuses his neighbor. The police arrive at the soup kitchen and ask Christine if she knows where they can find Joey Jones. Joey has been making a name for himself in the streets, doing illegal work for Mr. Choi, and the police suspect he has connections to the homeless mission shelter. Later, when Christina encounters Joey, she admits to him that she had to lie to the police and expresses her disappointment that he hasn't changed at all. Curious, Joey asks her what the police said when she provided them with the description of Isabelle's killer. She explains that they dismissed it with laughter because their focus seemed to be more on gathering information about Joey than on investigating the murder. During their journey back to the convent, Christina questions Joey about what transpired when she was drunk. Joey is surprised that she has no recollection and reveals that she had asked him to kiss her, so he obliged because he wanted to as well. Intrigued, Christine asks him why he wants to kiss her. Joey dismisses it as a senseless question and tells her to take a look in the mirror. In a vulnerable moment, Christina lowers her guard and confides in Joey that she killed her gymnastics instructor when she was a child because he sexually abused her 17 times, starting when she was 10. Due to her young age, she was sent to the convent instead of prison. She admits that she has never shared this story with anyone else. Joey reciprocates by sharing with her that when he left the military, he removed his uniform and ran away. At the convent, the Mother Superior inquires about Christina's motives for applying for the mission in Sierra Leone. Christina explains that Africa has always been part of her life plan and requests permission to expedite her departure due to numerous distractions in London. She informs the Mother Superior that she is ready to leave any time after October 1st. On Joey's request, his boss takes him to meet Madame Choi. Joey asks her about violent men who pay for girls, and she informs him that she doesn't associate with them. They are on her list of dangerous individuals. Joey provides Madame Choi with the description of Isabelle's killer, and she confirms that she knows who he is. However, she requires a favor from Joey in exchange for revealing the man's identity. Meanwhile, a man with a scar above his eye behaves aggressively toward a young woman. Another woman in the house overhears the disturbance and investigates. She sees the man's coat hanging outside a room in the hallway. Curiosity leads her to check the coat's pockets, where she discovers an invitation to a rooftop cocktail party addressed to someone named Max, suggesting that the scar-faced man is Max. Joey assists Madame Choi by transporting a truck filled with hidden illegal workers and delivering it to a warehouse. The person at the warehouse pays Joey, who takes the opportunity to ask for the information he requested while counting the money. The individual tells him that it's on its way. As Joey looks at Max's invitation to the rooftop cocktail party, he contemplates its significance. On October 1st, Christina meets Joey in the park as he requested. He asks her to take pictures of him for his daughter. He wants his daughter to have photographs of him appearing like a normal and good man, so she can cherish them when she grows older. Christina wonders if he won't see his daughter, to which Joey responds that he doesn't believe he will maintain his current appearance for much longer. Concerned, Christina asks why he won't look the same, but he remains silent. They go for coffee, and Christine asks Joey to send her a few of the pictures so she can take them with her to Africa. Christine informs Joey that she will leave the next day and wants to conclude her turbulent time in London with him. Joey smiles at her. They end up at Damon's apartment and become intimate. However, their private moment is interrupted when Damon arrives home and struggles to open the locked door from the outside. In a rush, Joey and Christina flee through the back of the apartment, descending the fire escape and reaching the street. Joey tells her that he has enough money for them to start fresh somewhere else. Christina stops him and advises that if he wants to become a good man, he must truly be one. She kisses him with passion and invites him to join her at the ballet performance that evening. Joey is torn as he watches her walk away. Joey visits Don's house, and his daughter answers the door, not recognizing him. He places the bag of money on the ground and explains that it is for her mother. Joey also hands her an envelope of photographs and informs her that they are for her. Christina patiently waits for Joey outside the ballet venue, but he doesn't appear. Instead, Joey chooses to attend the rooftop cocktail party, where he engages in a conversation with Max. Max grows concerned and questions Joey's identity, but Joey remains silent and abruptly pushes Max off the rooftop in front of everyone. As Christina exits the ballet, she notices Joey lying on the roadside, unconscious, with a bottle of alcohol in his hand. When Joey wakes up, he admits that he is running away from a military trial to seek revenge in Afghanistan. He took action against those responsible for killing his fellow soldiers, who were brutally murdered in front of him. He often sees vivid illusions of the men he killed and imagines hummingbirds, like the drones he encountered in Afghanistan. Overwhelmed with emotion, Joey begins to cry, and Christina tries to comfort him. The following morning, while on her way to the airport, Christina opens a letter from Joey. In the letter, Joey informs her that he returned the money he had stolen to Damon, along with additional funds for rent. He mentions leaving some money for the boys at the homeless mission for pizza and providing the details of the Chinese crime smugglers to the police. Joey expresses his gratitude for spending the summer with Christina and reflects on the joy he experienced during that time. He tells her that he's glad that he spent that special time with her. He mentions that he will be leading a good life. Joey walks down the street swinging his bottle, wondering when police officers find him with the same hummingbird-like drones.